sometimes even the most avid of baseball fans are forced to go on and become football fans instead. And sometimes even the most avid of football fans are forced to cheer on for the baseball team. But why does this happen? Mainly because in some cities, they have really good football teams and really bad baseball teams. And I'm going to... And I might, occasionally jump in and include basketball references where appropriate, but realistically, I'm going to try to stick to baseball and football. And I want to give a good first example. Houston has a really bad football team. The Houston Texans, been around since 2002, never have made it to even the AFC Championship game. They've made the playoffs a few times, but they were just doing really bad in 2020, 21, 22. And in 2022, they managed to even fuck up getting the number 1 draft pick. With their win over the Indianapolis Colts. The head coach, Lovie Smith, previously was coach for the Chicago Bears, and a lot of people said that there was collusion going on. In any case, though, the Texans are a really bad football team. And if you're in Houston, it's really hard to be a Texans fan, especially if you're not an Astros fan. The Astros have been popping off these last couple of years. Looking at it, in 2015, they nearly won the AL West with the Texas Rangers, and they made it to the playoffs, beat the Yankees in the wild card before falling in the divisional round. Who they fell to, I am not sure. Oopsie. They did fail to make the playoffs in 2016, but in 2017, they won the World Series. 2018, they won the AL West for the second consecutive year and made it pretty far in the playoffs. They made noise in those playoffs. Like I'm telling you, they made some noise in those playoffs. And I forgot who they beat in the divisional round, but I do know that they fell to the Red Sox in the championship round. The Red Sox would go on and win that World Series. 2019 was another good year for the Astros, in which case they made it to the World Series, winning the AL West again. I forgot who they beat in the divisional round. But I know that in the championship round, I think they might have beat the Rays in the divisional round. In the championship round, they beat the Yankees. And then they fell to the Nationals. 2020 was looking to be a disappointing year for the Astros, especially after they finished with a 29-31 record. But being second in the AL West allowed them to attain the number 6 seed. And somehow they were able to beat the Twins, I think it was. And they somehow managed to win in the divisional round as well against the Athletics, who won the AL West and nearly took down the Tampa Bay Rays in the ALCS. 2021 was another year where they made it to the World Series and fell to the Braves. And in 2022, they won the World Series again. Again, 5 out of the last 6 years, they were able to win the division. Last 6 years, they made it all the way up to the championship series. Even with a losing record, they were able to pull it off somehow. And it's very hard in Houston to not get excited about the Astros, as much as I vehemently hate them, and so does pretty much everyone else if you are not in Houston. So, again, two very conflicting perspectives of things. Kansas City is pretty much the opposite. You have a really good football team in the case of the Chiefs, and a really bad baseball team in terms of the Royals. The Royals won a 2015 World Series. Every Mets fan would know that because they beat the Mets in the 2015 World Series. But they have not made the playoffs since then. And are on track to have a very disappointing season this year, unlike the Astros, who were forecast to have a successful season this year, as always. The Royals have been doing really bad recently, and for the Chiefs, that's not the case. The Kansas City Chiefs won 2 out of the last 5 Super Bowls and have made it to the past 5 championship series. You can essentially almost flip their roles, except for the fact that the Royals actually have had postseason success in the past, just as they're not doing so well right now, as the Texans have pretty much never had any postseason success. So, in the case of the Chiefs, they won the AFC West for the past 7 years. 2016 on. 2015, they still made the playoffs as a wild card, and I think they made it to the divisional round. I think they might have made the playoffs for the past, like 9 consecutive years or something like that. I'll go look it up. I'll look it up, and I'll probably attach a footnote to this video as to when the last time the Chiefs didn't make the postseason was. They did struggle to find postseason success, but in the AFC Championship game for 2018, they lost to the New England Patriots, who won their Super Bowl, the last one under Tom Brady. In Super Bowl 54, they won the Super Bowl, and in Super Bowl 55, they lost again to Tom Brady, but this time under the leads with the Buccaneers. 2021 AFC Championship game, they lost to the Bengals, but they beat them in a rematch, then beat the Eagles to win Super Bowl 57. So again, you're seeing this very good Kansas City Chiefs team and this very bad Kansas City Royals team. So it's hard to get excited in this case. Now, once you get to Colorado, you really struggle in terms of both baseball and football, because both teams are really bad. But what you can look forward to is hockey in Colorado, and basketball even occasionally. Now, I'm not too familiar with the Colorado basketball and hockey teams, but I do know that the Denver Nuggets have made it to the NBA Finals. So people in Denver who are baseball fans can temporarily distract themselves from the misery of the Colorado Rockies and go on and cheer for the Denver Nuggets over the Miami Heat. Again, you know, a lot of people in Denver are happy about this right now, and then you look at the Colorado Avalanche, and they might have lost to the Kraken this year in the first round of the playoffs. But they won the Stanley Cup Finals in 2022 over the Lightning. And did they win in 2021 as well? I don't know. But the Avalanche have been a very successful hockey team. The Nuggets haven't really been that successful. They've made the playoffs a lot, but they haven't really made too much noise in the playoffs. But now they are making a lot of noise in the playoffs. So Denver was one of those cities where I think that bringing up hockey and basketball was in fact relevant. And I mean, going over to Boston and for the New England area as a whole, it's a similar story. You know, it's always been for the longest while that the Patriots is what everyone gets excited for when Tom Brady was on the team. And I mean, look at how many rings they got. They were able to win Super Bowl 53. They were able to win Super Bowl 51 in that crazy 28-3 comeback. Super Bowl 49 was another victory for them. They won Super Bowl 39, Super Bowl 38, 36. I think I got all those numbers right, but you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But they kind of sucked for a while. Tom Brady got eliminated in the wild card and then left the team. They've only made the playoffs once since then, and it was a handy loss to the Buffalo Bills, who are, again, proving their dominance over every other team in the AFC East. Now, the thing that you got to understand about the Boston is that you also have the Boston Red Sox, and they've been playing pretty good too. They won their first World Series since 1918 when they won the 2004 World Series after that crazy 3-0 comeback against the New York Yankees. In the 2004 ALCS and the 2007 ALCS to make a similar 3-1 comeback against the Cleveland Indians, who are now known as the Cleveland Guardians. And they won the 2007 World Series as well over the Rockies. 2013, 2018, more World Series victories for the Red Sox. But they didn't play so well last year. 2021, they did make it all the way up to the ALCS where they lost to the Houston Astros. Must have been a very hard ALCS for Yankees fans, considering that the Yankees hate both teams passionately. But again, you know, the Boston Red Sox are just able to prove their dominance, but they kind of are falling short in recent years. Another thing that I want to look at is this is basketball now, because looking at the Boston Celtics have made the playoffs the past 9 years, and obviously there's been mixed results in the playoffs, but you know, all is good in there. And the Bruins got out in the first round. Hilarious, because they blew a 3-1 lead and they had the best hockey record of all time. The Bruins have made the postseason for quite a few years in a row now. So again, you know, a different perspective. All right, now I have to do a little bit of research. So this is the post amendum to what I said about the Kansas City Chiefs. The last time the Chiefs failed to make the playoffs was in 2014. They were 9-7, and therefore they were only placed at 8. They were well out of playoff contention. They were like a game short, which I guess isn't well out, but still. Now, it might have actually been 2. Now, 2013 and on, the Chiefs have had 10 postseason appearances, but they've been very mixed in terms of success. 2013 involved them getting the 5 seed, and it involved a wild card loss to the Indianapolis Colts. But in 2015, they were able to beat the 4-seeded team as the number 5 seed. Forgot who they beat, and make it to the divisional round. In 2016, 2017 were very similar. They won the AFC West, but they kept losing in the divisional round. So the Chiefs' success has actually been very mixed recently, and I just wanted to add on this footnote to this video. I'm not going to do a Bruins one because I just realized how stupid that was.